HodgePodge Records exclusive.
Hey now.
Know what I mean? See what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Hear what I'm saying? See what I mean? Know what I'm saying?
So, say my name.
Brady's HodgePodgecast.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of the HodgePodgecast. I'm Brady, and I hope you watched the last episode, which was 5 with Nick Thomas. That was a blast. Had a great time doing that. But joined today, we have Daniel Miles of Daniel Miles and Happy Hour, which is a band that I am also in. I think. Am I the head of the Happy Hour?
You're generally considered the Happy Hour of Daniel Miles and Happy Hour.
Man, 9 years ago, you came to me and said, we were sitting on your couch, and you just said, I think I want to start something a little different. And here we are, 9 years later.
It's kind of crazy that it's been that long.
That is crazy. And you were in Drive before, the Williamsport rock band Drive, and I was your manager for a bit. I guess you could call it manager.
All around
photo guy and whatever.
Support.
But, so you played rock music and stuff like that. What made you want to do this jump to, what made you want to start this project 9 years ago, with Daniel Miles and Happy Hour?
When we started Drive, it was that time in our life when we were all, 18, just coming out of the 90s, which is sort of our area of music. So we had a lot of influence from, Stone Temple Pilots and Filter and
I wish I would have met you.
Some really great bands from the 90s, and it was fantastic. The amount of energy that we could bring to stage and the things that we could do there, it was really what we needed at that time. When we got a little bit older, everything started changing a little bit more, and all the guys from Drive, we were all sort of, doing our own thing, college and work and whatever, and so it was more of, we wanted to get together and find that love of just playing together again, and it wasn't really as much about making a musical statement or trying to make it or do something like that.
Right.
And for me, it was an opportunity when we had a little bit of downtime in Drive, because we had been playing so many shows and for so long that it was the first time we really had a lull in probably about 7 years. So for me, we had that nice little break where I got to explore something a little bit different. And I'm probably one of the guys in Drive that was always leaning more towards the lighter music. So
right, and everyone else wanted to just rock out.
Yeah, I loved the rock that we were doing and just the big, powerful stuff. But I also liked a lot more of the melody. So for me, musical influence growing up, starting in the rock and moving from there into blues and jazz, there's a lot of influences to explore. So I decided I wanted to try something a little bit on my own for the first time ever. And that lasted a few shows. And of course it had to be acoustic, and I really felt like I found something for myself there. And
yeah, because you started out just playing, basically I was there, brought a cajon 9 years ago. Now cajoons are everywhere.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's a great instrument to really utilize the sound of an acoustic guitar and complement each other. But you started out just kind of doing acoustic shows, and I'd go along with you, do sound and stuff, and then eventually I'd hop up more and more. And then I think Randy at Hull's Landing said, well, I want you guys to play the whole time. And you're like, you got to play the whole time. And I was like, what? I have to play? You mean I have to play with you the whole time? And I think from that show, basically, I take a break here and there, but from that show on, I was...
Yeah, and that's really great about what we've built here over this 9 years is it started you were there, and we just always liked playing music together. So it was an opportunity. You could come up and jam a couple songs, and then it just started growing from there. And it was just 5 songs to 7 songs to 10 songs, and I do believe it was Randy.
Yeah,
it's just Randy. We need more than just
so thank
one
you,
guy.
Randy.
Thank you, Randy.
You molded. But really, our first show, which I'm going to show a little clip of right here, which was Cherry Cherry.
She got the way to groove me, Cherry. She got the way to groove me. She got the way to groove me, Cherry. She got the way to groove me. 2, 3, 4, bop, bop, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Great song.
That is a great song. And that was our first show. But we had Lucas, who we have Lucas now. But really, Lucas only played that first show with us and then dropped off for what, 5 years or so? 4 years,
give or
4 or
take,
5
yeah.
years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lucas is back. He was on the second album and the third album, which we're actually recording right now. We're kind of that's why we're doing this. We're in the studio. So HodgePodge Records Studio. Follow it at HodgePodge Records on Instagram. But anyway, sorry, I had to do a little plug.
But before you share that though, it was really great. Lucas and I have always played music together since we were in elementary and middle school, and so it was really kind of cool. I give him credit for coming up with the name Happy Hour, which we were in your attic and we were just kind of jamming together, but we didn't have a lot of other people to make like a full band. So we had just people coming and sitting into shows, if you remember that.
Yeah.
We'd have 6 people, whoever showed up that night, and would start take a song here or there and jamming with us. And so that came up with this idea of Happy Hour, where everybody could just come and have a good time.
And it's great because it is still the happy hour. I'm the leader, so I decide if you're in or not. But I mean, we've had harmonica players just randomly at shows, not even our friends, harmonica players, other singers, people playing guitar.
Yeah. I
mean, we've just had so many musicians that just hop up and play with us sometimes, and it's great. It really keeps us on our heels, and it's a good time. But I love it, and the days of the attic.
Down toward the city, the storm is coming. I can see the rain clouds, I can hear.
And recording the second album, and the first album was actually in your cabin.
Waste tomorrow on another good night.
Which was a good time. Took a weekend to do that. And we even shot a music video on the first album that kind of didn't make it to anywhere.
Last night we shot. The sun in my eyes. Been waiting for a long time. See, it's calling where you in the sun I can barely see. You guess so beautiful. Straight shot to the morning. Straight shot to the border alone. Straight shot to the border. So
Yeah, it didn't. But it was a sort of our first foray into that whole thing. I mean, you're talking about, you yourself as a producer and all the things that you're doing over the last decade plus.
Yeah.
And how far that, you've grown in your craft and sort of come into your own from just getting started to all the things that you're doing now. It really was sort of like our first stretch into it. We did the album the same way we do most everything else.
Yeah.
We showed up, we hit record.
There it was.
There it was. Next song, moving on. So,
and the second album was kind of like that too, on the fly. And I feel that with this third album, we've really grown, and you can tell. And hopefully you guys like it. We really only have the acoustic and some vocals laid down, but really we're taking our time in a sense with this. Although it released on August 8th. Is that
August
when?
8th.
August 8th on the Hiawatha. We're also playing June 13th on the Hiawatha here in Williamsport. I'm sure we'll have some kind of package for our release again, like we did last time.
Yep.
On a boat. But the cool thing, going back to Daniel Miles and Happy Hour, we're two of the 4 members, I guess, and we can either play a 2-piece, which is me and him, which would be him always on lead guitar and vocal, Or me, and then when it's a two-piece, it would be me on bass or cajon or guitar, whatever
Sometimes
needs
both.
filling in. Yeah,
With backups.
And then as a three-piece, I'll either be on drums or bass. It really. And then Lucas is our regular bass player, and then we have Greg right now on drums. So, and then I play guitar as the four-piece. So really, it's a lot of pieces. It's a lot of different equations that we can do, and I think that's what's awesome about us. We're so versatile in that sense. But we've been through so many drummers. It's ridiculous.
And an insane amount of drummers. But I think that's what's great about music. And one of the things that I loved about studying jazz is when I first started in college, I'd show up and my teacher would be like, okay, here, play this. And then we just start playing. He'd give me like a couple chords, and there you go. So you got to kind of build that repertoire where you can just go with it. So if we need a three-piece or we need a four-piece, somebody can make it, can't make it, we make it work, And
it's great.
I think it sounds good.
It's a good dynamic, and it really caters to club owners and bar owners and event personnel, in the sense that whatever they want, really they can get, depending on the availability of all the members.
Well, and you talk about members, and you mentioned all the drummers that we went through. I always joke that we're sort of the Spinal Tap of local bands, because while we've had just an amazing fortune with the people that we've been able to jam with and play with and have on our records, we've really been able to play with some of the top musicians, I feel, in our area.
Yeah.
And that's not a slight to anybody else who's not played with us. But Williamsport, if you've ever been here, and the greater surrounding area, is really just an amazing area for music.
It really is.
Living here, a lot of people don't see that because they're so used to going out to the clubs and going out to the bars and going out to the river lots and the festivals. But you go to a lot of other places in the country, and you don't have this much live music with this much heart and soul, and it's always going on here. So it's been pretty fantastic. We had Mark Waymer on our first album, who was just fantastic mixer.
He was. Worked at KNS, you might know him from there.
Loved playing with that guy. From there, we've been through some more fill-in drummers.
We played with Bo. We played with Bo at Liberty Fest.
Yeah, Bo, Scott Kozer,
who was the drummer
for Drive.
Gonna scream all night, gonna do it right,
So he's filled in for us. We've played with Tim Cole, Tig, as some of you know.
Who that was our attempt at freecreditscore.com.
Yes. Yeah, that was
and he
a fantastic adventure.
He also played for us, opening up for Roger Klein and the Peacemakers.
Yeah. Believe he did half to most of the set.
Yeah.
When we opened up for Roger Klein.
Because you did some Drive songs, and then you did some Daniel Miles and Happy Hour songs.
Yeah, it was a really great mix. For me, being able to play on the same stage with Roger Klein and the Peacemakers was just a dream come true. But after Tig, we've had Daniel Zellers,
Fat Dan,
who did a fantastic job on album 2.
He did.
Really brought his own style to it. Now we have Greg, the animal, I like to call him.
Greg Snook, ladies and gentlemen.
Greg
that's a name.
Snook.
That's a name you're gonna hear. I was just at a drummer conference, and his name came up to me. This is 3 hours away. Someone says, "Oh, this drummer, and I said Greg Snook, and they said, "How do you know?" I said, "He's my drummer right now."
Yeah, and Greg really has the right perspective. He's got a lot going on. But he's so concerned. People are always concerned with offending me for some reason. But
not me.
No, definitely not you. But there again, we've been friends for 15 years, whatever it is. But Greg's kind of funny because when he got here and first started jamming with us, it's almost like he was just waiting for instructions, and that's I think we've established it's not really what we do. We play, you play your part, and everybody goes home happy. And, you know, we wanted Greg because we want what Greg can bring to the music. So if he just shows up, he does his thing, it's going to be fantastic, whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm really excited to get him in here and do the drum tracks and really see what can come out, because, you know, every album really has a different dynamic with Mark on the first album and with Dan on the second album and with, you know, Greg on the third album. It's really going to be... And our first 2 albums are available on Amazon, CD Baby, iTunes. You know, basically a lot of online distribution areas, as well as you can listen to us on Spotify if you don't want to pay anything. So
Spotify's great.
And if you have our CD, awesome, thank you. If someone gave you the CD, awesome, thank you. Burn it.
Yeah, we I was having this conversation actually this week with people talking about music piracy. And they're like, well, you're an artist, you know, how do you feel about people who burn your CD? It's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Just somebody's listening to my music.
Right.
You know, I did that. We put it together. It's our message to you. And somebody felt it was good enough to not only pop in the CD player and listen, but share it. You know, I mean...
We're not in this to make money. We're just in it because it's a good time and we enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that people that get into music that really have a soul for it, it's an addiction. Like, you just can't stop. You have to keep creating. You have to keep playing. I know when I don't play, I feel awful. And when I do, like, I just feel great. I could have the worst week ever. We come in and lay down a couple tracks, and I'm leaving here just feeling great. You know?
Yeah, it was a good time. You came in after a while of really not playing very much, and you left that night, and you were like, man, thanks so much. You know, I really had a good time. But our third album, it's all original songs, and it's really matured a lot, I think, from other songs. I hope you guys, maybe we'll have all 4 guys on here sometime and play one of the new songs over in the studio area, and that would be a good time. And we're actually, for anyone that listened back in the day to our recordings from like day 1 of just him and the acoustic, Voodoo Sands was a track on that, just, I guess,
First demo, first
yeah,
scratch tracks,
that you passed out to some people, and I, you know, passed out to some people. And that song is going to make it on this album. So kind of a throwback, but a new throwback to us, but new to the people who haven't really heard it. And I think it really fits good with this album. So.
Yeah, and it was one of those songs we were really looking for a place that it belonged. And it didn't belong on the first album. It wasn't ready. By the time we got to the second album, the dynamic had changed so much that it just didn't feel right to fit in there. But definitely with the third album, as you mentioned, it feels a little bit more mature. We've sort of opened ourselves up to some different styles and some different influences.
And we're really going to try to get some guest features on this album as well, so to bring more light to the whole happy hour perspective.
Yeah, we've definitely got a list in mind of people that we'd like to bring in, even just to pop on a track and throw something in the background. But I think that's really great with the way that we do songs, like we do everything else. It's you just open up and let it pour out. You had posted a picture when we were in here 2 weeks ago, something like that, where you were setting up microphones, and I was playing on the guitar, just messing around in the seat, and then I'm like, I need a piece of paper. I started writing. Okay, next song.
And that started because I have up on the board, it was like 9 or I forget how many songs. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I said, dude, we have 9 songs. You got any more? And he's like, well, not really. And then 5 minutes later, he's like, 10 songs. I was like, oh. And that'll be Masquerade. So that song was literally written right there, just on the fly. It's a good time.
Yeah, and that's really the approach that I've always taken to writing music, whether it's been with Drive or with anything else. If any of you have heard the Drive album, which is also still in circulation somewhere, it's around, a lot of that was 4 guys who showed up, and we just started playing because we love music. And then we'd have something that we were jamming on, and we'd take a 5-minute break. We came back, I had some lyrics jotted down, next song. And it's really great to just kind of let things pour out like that, and you don't really judge anything or second guess yourself. I know a lot of musicians that drive themselves nuts doing that. And
a lot of our stuff is put to tape and then, well, not tape, but I say tape.
Yeah, I kind of know what you're saying.
I still say records, and I'm like, yeah, the first side of the record was awesome because like the first 6 sides would be the first side of a record, and really I front side, back side.
And when you take a break, you go play your Pac-Man video games.
Yeah, I do.
And
I put stuff to tape and drink a couple Zimas, it's great. So we're actually going to play a song right now off the second album. It's called A Girl Named Whiskey. And yeah, we figured we'd give you a little bit of a throwback rather than try to put out a new one right now, since really I haven't written any guitar parts for the third album. So, but yeah, we're going to do that for you right now. Girl Named Whiskey.
You throw me a pick up there, sir.
Yep.
This one.
Whoop. Is that good?
No, this one will be good. That's mine.
Yep. Over.
Ready?
Yep. Counter in.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Sweet
Daniel Miles and happy hour, everybody.
We ready to pop?
Yep.
So now I'm a little self-conscious because you haven't brought up the Dan face. And the whole time I'm playing that song, I'm like, oh. Talk about the Dan face.
The Dan face?
The Dan face.
Are you talking about you just being...
Yeah.
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 Well, apparently there's a Brady face.
Yeah, I've seen the Brady face, but I'm too much of a gentleman to say anything.
Well, I was hanging out with John from Lion in the Main, and he was watching some YouTube videos of mine, and he's like, man, the faces you make while you're playing. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, okay. He's like, it's so entertaining. I'm like, well, thank you.
I think my
Yes.
wife, Jody, was the first one to bring up the Dan face. She's like, you just look like you're in pain. You're always trying to get this. It's whatever you got to do to get the notes out, you know?
It's true. It really is. I think that's what yeah. And it should have been gone.
Steve Perry.
Oh, that was great. I sent you that last night. Got exactly the answer that I wanted.
I knew what I knew. I was picking up what you're putting down.
So, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah,
And
thanks for having me. It's a great
coming on
time.
the HodgePodgecast.
Loving the HodgePodgecast, so I'm very thankful to be a part of it.
Good.
Keep watching, everybody. It's all good
Yes,
stuff.
thank you. Please subscribe as well. Now, I ask all my guests 5 questions, and yes, I realize I missed one with Nick. I was flustered. And he answered long enough anyway. So, I mean, you got good answers. It's just, I forgot one. And I did a bonus. So there was like 6 questions rather than 7, you know, whatever. So, what is your favorite beverage?
My favorite beverage. You kind of put me on the spot here.
I do that.
See, now I'm all flustered. Favorite beverage of all time. Honestly, I drink a ton of water.
Me too.
Believe it or not, that's like 99% of the time that you see me, I'm drinking water.
Mine's water and unsweet tea.
Yeah, you're definitely an unsweet. I do like the tea, but I'd have to say water over everything. It used to be the tea, but
Over here,
plain.
it's money over everything. No, I'm kidding.
I'm a plain kind of guy, so I'd definitely say water.
Yeah, I like water and unsweet tea. And what's funny is I just started answering, and I guess it is appropriate for me to have a discussion now, because this is really...
This is us.
This is Daniel Miles and Happy Hour. So, someone that you would work with, you know, past or present, they could be dead or alive, or not even born yet, you know.
Anyone?
Anyone. In any field, either.
Anyone in any field.
Right.
Oh, man. I'm a little bit torn. I definitely have to say... I always kind of wondered what it would be like to work with the Grateful Dead.
Really?
Oddly enough...
I didn't know this.
Yeah, oddly enough, now I do enjoy the Grateful Dead. I'm not a Deadhead by any means, but I do enjoy the Grateful Dead. I love their style. Because you know that, again, it's just some guys that sat there and somebody started playing and they were like, yep, there's a song, next song. But it always sounded great. And I think to that end, OAR right now really has a lot of that going on.
OAR. They're not a studio band.
They're
a live
not a
band.
studio band. I mean, studio stuff is great. It's
yeah,
okay.
oh, absolutely.
It's good. But, and I do on some of their albums, but once they get playing, you get lost in it. You know, we talked about the Mushroom Pizza at the one show where we were playing an OAR song, I believe it was Crazy Game of Poker.
That's correct.
And I took a guitar solo. Next thing I know, the song ends up being like 11 to 12 minutes long. And I'm just playing because I'm having such a great time, just tearing off and playing with it. So I think that would, not the obvious answer, but I'm sticking with it.
Stick with it. I think just because I want to meet the man so bad, Bill Murray, I think I'd...
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff Bridges.
Bill Murray.
Could we get a band with Bill Murray and Jeff Bridges? Would we get anything done? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It doesn't mean it's a bad idea.
It doesn't mean it's
If they're
a bad
watching,
idea.
call us.
Yes. Yes, Bill Murray and Jeff Bridges, please. Please. If you had $5 at McDonald's, what would you buy?
$5 hamburgers.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just a $5 burger? Or
Not a $5 burger. 5 of the dollar. Now they just raised their prices.
They did. They keep raising. It's the dollar menu. Now it's the value menu.
Right.
McDonald's, what do you do?
The dollar and more menu. Now it's not a dollar menu. Just take it off. Call it the regular menu. But whatever the burger is now, that's $1.
I think I just go with a crispy bacon ranch salad because I've been watching what I eat lately. Blah, blah. But it just... I kind of want to go off on a tangent right now, but it's going to be a small tangent about McDonald's.
Take it.
And really bugs me that they want $15 an hour, or they want to raise the minimum wage, fast food workers, not just McDonald's. It's common sense, as the last minimum wage raise, that everything else will go up to keep you on the same level that you're on now.
This is true.
You're not going to make more money. You're going to make more money, but everything else is going to cost more.
Yeah.
But people don't grasp that, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. He's not loving it.
I'm not loving it. It really
get
grinds
what
my
you're saying.
gears. You know what grinds my gears?
I get what you're saying, and we could probably argue that point all night long.
I could go for hours.
So we could just leave it there.
But I'm not. You know?
Then you wouldn't buy anything for $5 at McDonald's. But that's just all right. We're done.
Yes, we're done. Current jam. What's your current jam?
I am having a great week musically. For some reason, it's sort of been an off week for me. Had just crazy stuff going on, and I got in the car the other day, and normally I go for it's getting springtime, summer's out. Pop in the Roger Clyne, the Peacemakers, the OAR, something like that. But I reached for Tool.
Really?
It was perfect. It was just what I needed. So then, of course, now I'm right back in the 90s. I had Tool. Currently in my CD player right now I have Our Lady Peace.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's been a really great throwback week musically for me.
I guess.
I've been really enjoying it.
I'm more on the new stuff. So Alabama Shakes, they just dropped an album.
Great.
It's a great album.
Yeah.
The dynamics in that band are crazy.
Yeah.
Another band coming out in July with their first album, I think July 24th, their debut album. What are they called? Highly Suspect.
Yeah.
The song Lydia. These guys are going somewhere, and you heard it here first. Highly Suspect.
I can tell you, I just took Sons of Bill out of rotation Sunday. It's not going to be out long, though, because their last album was
I have to
pretty
listen to
great.
it. I have yet to listen to it.
It's pretty great. I'm really loving what they're doing with their new album.
So yeah, my jams. And then 21 Pilots is releasing a new one here soon, and Cold Chamber. So really, I've just been listening to singles and new stuff. So, but I like your throwbacks. That's nice.
Every once in a while, you gotta dust off the old CDs, and it was perfect.
So how do you like your women?
How do I like my women?
Right.
I'm gonna go with the appropriate answer. Married to me. My wife Jody. Right now, we're actually expecting our second child.
Congratulations. I've already told you
in
this,
a
but-
day and a half. So, yeah.
Thank you, Jody, for letting Dan out of the house.
It's coming very soon. I'm sure she's sleeping right now. She's very tired, but she is. She's an awesome woman. So I
She is a cool lady.
really couldn't ask for more in that. So my answer to how do I like my women? I like Jody.
I like mine sleazy, tatted up, and pierced. Yeah. Maybe not so sleazy, but sleazy is just a fun word. Kesha. I basically want my woman like Kesha. All right.
I can't there's just something about Kesha. There's a lot of things about Kesha that I'm just not interested. Just please just stop talking.
I feel you.
And
I don't know. I like Kesha, so I'll admit it.
we have done Kesha.
We have done. We did TikTok way back in the day.
We take requests, and they started as requests where we would just play whatever. And if you ever see us out, especially if we have access to Wi-Fi so I can get a lyric sheet, because I'm awful at lyrics for remembering them, we'll try just about anything that you can throw out. So then they started to become challenges more.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's more like challenges. And
Yeah, we've done the Lady Gaga, we've done NWA, we've done Kesha, we've done, all kinds of fun stuff. Just gotta have fun.
But it's a good time.
It's a great time. It's
Pat
a
Benatar.
happy hour or 3. So.
Yeah. Yeah. 1 to 2 to 3. You know, sometimes 3.5 if we're feeling froggy, and he eats the pizza.
This is true.
So, well, once again, thank you for stopping by.
Absolutely, thank you.
Please check out our website, dmhhmusic.com, or on the Book of Face at Daniel Miles and Happy Hour, ampersand. I have videos on this page. Please subscribe to this. Silver Shamrock Tattoo. Just got some ink done by them. As well as Bill Hokinson at Alley Ink in Bradford. Boom. And Silver Shamrocks in Lock Haven, by the way. Drum Tax. Check out Drum Tax. Have you heard of Drum Tax?
I have.
I know the guy who does Drum Tax.
Yeah.
And they're amazing. They're way better than that blue stuff that you put on drums.
Yeah.
So...
Was that moon gel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to name drop it, but...
I did.
There you go, name drop.
I did. Now I want a royalty.
Anyway, Drum Tax, you can put them on cymbals. You can do anything. It's like compound that doesn't stick to anything, doesn't leave any residue. They're great. They're great. Was just a thing and just saw how they worked, and they're amazing. They're amazing. Drum Tax, everybody. DRUMTACS. And, of course, the Moxie and Rebel album... Brute in the Brain, still out. Line in the Mains album, The Noise War, still out. Moxie is a great band.
Moxie is a great band, great bunch of guys. Very fond of them. We're all very fond of them.
Yes, we're very fond
Yes.
of them. Check out their music video on my page. Don't forget to subscribe to the HodgePodgecast at HodgePodge Records on Instagram. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Anything you want to throw out?
Buy our album.
Yes.
Or,
please.
If you don't buy our album, find somebody who did buy our album.
And steal
burn
it
it.
from them. Yes.
Steal it from them, listen to it, and then burn it for some other people and make them listen to it. Because sharing music is really what this is all about.
It is.
Expressing art. Share the art. So please.
Share the art. And like I said, Hiawatha, June 13th, which will be a 3-piece with me on bass. Lucas can't make that one. And August 8th for the 3rd album release party.
Full band, 3rd album release party.
It's going to be a good time. Packages coming soon.
I do believe that entire boat trip is going to be all DMHH originals. So, off the 3 albums. So it should be a good time.
Wow. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel Miles, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for allowing me, sir.
We got Drockton Hill on the next HodgePodgecast, so stick around for that. And then we got either Moxie or Mike from Moxie coming in after that. So we just got HodgePodgecast lined up around for everybody. So thank you and goodbye. And that's a wrap.
Nice.
Except for I never clicked record on this.
Oh!
Yep, so hopefully the camera audio is good enough.
There.